This is how a narcissist reacts when you give them a gift. You're looking at a very arrogant narcissistic mother who is making it really hard for her daughter to please her.
Oh my God, this is the one I was looking at.
Yeah, I seen you looking at it. I said, I sneak and get it behind your back.
You got the wallet?
No, I just got that.
I can't wear this strap no damn wallet.
Huh?
I need the wallet.
Mama,
Yeah.
give me a break now.
You got a break. I need the wallet. This is her to him. But I need the wallet.
So you don't want it?
I need the wallet. Look at the wallet.
Things that my narcissistic mother said to me while growing up. Well, I'm sorry that you remember it that way. Do you have any idea how that makes me feel? Oh, well, I guess you'll just be better off without me then. You are just like your father. Do you have any idea what I've been through just to raise you? I clothed you, fed you, put a roof over your head. I risked my life to bring you into this world, and this is the thanks that I get. When I die, you're going to regret the way you treated me. But honestly, the most common one was, do you have any idea how that makes me feel, even when I was going through a hard time or trying to express my hurt and emotions? Basically, a narcissistic parent will demand respect from you and act like they deserve a gold medal just for giving you the basic necessities in life like food, water, and shelter, and keeping you out of child safety, all while raising you with physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. But none of that matters, because do you have any idea how she feels?
See, the thing about narcissists is that they feel like the whole world revolves around them, even their children. So they can't even take responsibility or accountability when they've done something wrong. And if they've done something wrong and you bring it up to them, it's, oh, no. It's not me who did the wrong thing. It's you who did the wrong thing. You're feeling bad, not because of what I said, but because of how you interpreted it. So I'm sorry you feel that way. Or, they diminish your accomplishments. They diminish your feelings and really gaslight you and lie. One of my narcissistic parental figures even changes the story and says, oh, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. And I'm like, yo, I was there, right? I saw the situation. I experienced it too. But the gaslighting, especially from a parent, it makes you feel like maybe I am crazy. I don't know. Let's stay tuned for other people's experiences.
She keep disrespecting you because she don't care. It's really just that simple. It's not that complicated. Your narcissistic mother just does not care about you. She don't give two about nobody but herself. And she gonna forever be that way. She gonna die that way. She like being that way. You know why she likes it? Because it's been serving her this long. She ain't never gonna change. People always at her beck and call. People always think she the cream of the crop, everything in between, while she over there traumatizing you behind doors. Go ahead and leave her ass. Don't stay there no more. If you can get out, get out. If you can't get out, make a plan to get out. If you need some help on how to get out, contact me and we can come up with a plan together. Because having a narcissistic mother is so detrimental to your psyche. You are drowning and you don't even understand. You are not living a life. You are just existing. She is killing your spirit. She is killing your soul. They are emotional vampires. She is sucking the absolute living shit out of you. You have nothing left to give because she has taken it all. But you can take your power back. Don't let her control you for the rest of your life. Get up off that floor. She done knocked you down 10 times. You can get up 12 more times. I promise you that you got it in you. If anything that I said to you today resonates with you, go ahead and follow me here. Save my content. Share it with somebody if they need to hear it. And we can heal together and I can help you become mother-proof. Her pain is not your truth. Okay? You are stronger than she has ever been. And as long as you choose yourself, you will get through this. Okay? Have a good day, a good night whenever you're watching this. And don't let that delusional bitch tell you nothing else that's not true. Block her the fuck out.
Narcissistic mothers don't see their daughters as daughters. They see their daughters as competition. They will cheer and celebrate and admire everybody else, but not you. You never get any validation or any praise from your narcissistic mother. And because of that, you question your self-worth. You become a people pleaser. You feel like you have to earn love. Love at that point becomes conditional. You feel like, oh, well, if I just be the good girl or the good daughter, then maybe I'll get the love. Or if I get all A's in school, maybe then she'll like me. Maybe then she'll love me. But the truth is, she'll never love you. She doesn't have the capacity to love you and support you and care for you and nurture you the way that you deserve. Her insecurities won't allow her to. She sees something in her daughter that she lacks. She sees the authenticity. She sees the audacity. She sees the confidence. She sees the fearlessness in her daughter that she wished she had. And when she sees it in her daughter, instead of nurturing that gift in her daughter, she'll try to diminish her daughter. She will compete with her daughter. She will always try to one-up her daughter. She will try to sabotage her daughter. And sabotage her by not giving her all the information that she may need in order to have, a successful life. She withholds information. She withholds knowledge that could be passed on to her daughter because she secretly wants her to fail. She secretly holds out on any type of support, whether it's emotional, financial, or physical, because she doesn't want that daughter to do better than her. And I'm here to tell you today that you did not imagine any of that. What happened to you was real. And at the end of the day, it wasn't about you. It was about her. It was about her lack of confidence. It was about her insecurity. It was about her jealousy and her need for control. It was never about you. You were never the problem. You were conditioned to believe that something was wrong with you, that you were the problem. But I'm here to tell you that no, you were not the problem. You were just a reflection. You showed her what could have been. And because of that, she hated you for it. So you just have to grieve the mother that you never had. You have to mother yourself. You have to go back and parent yourself. Well, not go back, but you have to nurture yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to pour into yourself. You have to become the mother that you wish you had. You have to become your own mother. Is it unfortunate? Yes, but it's worth it. And you wouldn't be who you are if you hadn't gone through what you went through. You wouldn't have the strength, the power, and the level of resilience and the wisdom that you have if you had not gone through the things that you've been through. So don't hate your mother. Don't, entertain any of the foolishness that she may bring into your life. Slowly distance yourself and detach yourself from your mother, or completely go no contact. That's completely up to you. You know what works for you. You know what healthy boundaries are for you. Never feel bad for protecting yourself, even if it's from your own mother.
The main thing that irks me about having a covert narcissist for a mother is the fact that everything that they do is very much passive aggressive. Like, it's never just straightforward, in your face, saying how they really genuinely feel. It's never that. It's always just little snide remarks and just little passive aggressive things that would be mentally or emotionally harmful to you. And the thing about it is that when I'm trying to explain it to somebody else, like, I always feel like I have to over explain what took place between me and her so that they understand the significance, because more times than not, the scars that are left are internal. It's not external. So people don't see it as a real thing, I guess. But the thing about it is that she be knowing the significance. She be knowing the significance of what she be saying and what she be knowing. Like, you created the significance. Like, but if I were to go off, then, I'm being aggressive and I come off as the villain because I'm the one that's just going to say it with my fucking chest. I'm not the one that's hiding behind little snide remarks and shit like that. That shit really do be irking the hell out of me. Like, that's why, yeah, if you are around a covert narcissist, I don't give a fuck what created the narcissist. It's not your fucking problem. It's not your job to heal them. Leave them in the dust, bro, because fucking insufferable.
Having this type of mother wound is intense. So anybody that has a narcissistic mom, whether they're covert or malignant, I just want you to know that we see you, and I'm sorry that you had that experience, because like just on some real basic level stuff, that sucks as a situation. It's horrible. And if no one has ever told you before, you have a right to your anger. You have a right to have rage if you had a mother who was a narc. Okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it or change anything else. You literally have a right to your anger. You have a right to your rage. You have a right to cut them off. You have a right to set boundaries. You have a right to be mad. You have a right to feel how you feel, because if someone is mistreating you, you have a right not to think that that's okay. And moreover, if you can recognize that the pattern of behavior is not acceptable, then perhaps you can change it within yourself, because the problem is those types of things trickle down. And if we're not self-aware enough, we could end up being the exact same people that hurt us. You can end up becoming your narc mother or your mother with narcissistic tendencies. You might have some. So I think it's important, because it's not your fault that you had a narc parent, but it can be your duty to yourself to make sure you do not repeat those habits. So if you do become a parent, you are not a narc, and that you're just not a narcissist in general. So if you had a narc mom, I'm sorry that you had that experience, and use it as a way to learn and grow so that you do not become a narc either. All right, let's keep going.
I'll tell you about what my mother did to me. This is when I've always worked. I've been working since 12. And I was an assistant manager in a clothing store in the mall here in Atlanta. And I was making a lot of money for my age. I was 17 years old. I got a bank account at Nations Bank. It's now Bank of America. It was called Nations Bank back then, telling my age. But I got a bank account, and I was saving up money to move out. So I started getting these notices in the mail basically saying my account was overdrawn. Like, I'm not spending, I'm just saving my checks. For one, I bought a car, so I was saving my checks for that. I bought my own car. Then I started saving up to move out. So I started getting these notices in the mail basically saying my account was overdrawn or checks were bouncing and stuff like that. I'm like, I ain't wrote no checks. I went in my closet. My mother done got my whole book of checks and just writing them. Took all my money out my account. Come to find out, she's writing checks to buy gifts for men. Oh, I'm not done. When I asked her about it, I was like, Mom, you been writing checks in my name? Like, what's going on? No, I'm not. Dead in my face. Like, who else is writing the checks? And the checks are sitting in my closet, and the checks are now missing. Fast forward, she kicks me out. It was the year 1999. And she kicks me out because I would not come from the west end of Atlanta. We stayed in Palmetto. If you know, that's the country. That's not a hop and a skip away. I was at my best friend's house in the west end. And we had a blizzard. It started snowing like really, really bad. I had this 1989 Mazda MX-6. And it needed tires. And there was something going on with one of my front tires. And I knew I just could not drive. Like, I think I already had missed like a couple of days of work because this tire needed to be fixed. So she pages me 911 like she always does. It's not an emergency. It's just, call me now. So I call her and she was like, can you bring me a Coke and Snickers? I was like, really, Mom? There's a whole blizzard outside. We're in Georgia. We don't know how to drive in these conditions. Not only that, I have bald tires and the tire that's about to fall off with my front end. I can't come bring you a Snickers and a Coke. I'm sorry. Next thing you know, my stuff was put out. Sabotaging. Because she knew I was moving out. She saw my receipt for layaway at Walmart and everything. She put my stuff out. So I ended up moving in with my best friend and her family. And then later on, I ended up moving in with my son's father. Fast forward, I ended up getting pregnant by my son's father. And ended up homeless and pregnant. I finally get on my feet after I had my son and started working at Victoria's Secret. Once I got that job, I tried to go get my apartment. Tried to go get an apartment because, y'all, the whole time I was pregnant and a little bit after I had my son, I was homeless.
So I finally got on my feet a little bit, or got a job with stable income. And I tried to go get an apartment, y'all. This lady has ruined my credit. I get the apartment, but I can't turn the electricity on. Georgia Power would not let me turn I had a bill in my name from when I was 12 years old, and they just would not cut the power on. I kept bringing them my social security card, birth certificate, driver's license. Like, they kept having me to bring it to the office so they can make copies. And I'm like, I clearly was underage. That's not my bill. So for the longest, I had to have somebody put my power in their name. So that's just some of the things that my narcissistic mother did to me. She set me up for failure before I even had a chance, child, to even. So it's been a fight for me. And every time I tell my story, people tell me, you need to write a book, because people just don't know that I come from the background that I come from. My family on both sides are very conservative, but I had a very, very rough childhood. Very, very rough adult life. Young adult life. And it's finally balancing out. But yeah, I've always been a hard worker. But yeah, when you have a narcissistic parent, they kind of set you up for failure. And it's a thing with moms that are jealous of their daughters. She set me up because I wasn't trying to have sex until I was married. I wasn't trying to have no baby. You know, I'm homeless and have nowhere to stay. I'm going to try to lay my head where I can lay my head. And one of those places was my son's father. Family house. So I stayed with him for a little bit, ended up getting knocked up. Didn't have any money for option B because he wanted the baby and he was not going to fund that. So yeah, I ended up being a young mommy. I got pregnant at 19, became a mommy at 20. And yeah, that's my story on just some of the things my narcissistic mother did to me. I can write a whole book on stuff that she did to me. That lady did not like me for whatever reason. I was the sweetest kid. I never got in trouble. All I did was work from the age of 12. Never got in trouble, well, except for the time I had to jump this tall boy for smacking my cousin in the mouth. But I stayed out of trouble. I didn't talk back. I didn't break the rules. I didn't want no smoke with this Haitian lady at all. So yeah, that's just a little bit of my story.
You know what's the worst thing about having a narcissistic parent? It's so sad that like there's actually people that feed into her because they only know her side, because she's a really good manipulator. She is really good at like the boys in our family, at least like my siblings that are boys. She caters to them, thinks they're the best, because she never put the responsibilities and pressure on them like she did on me and my. They think like, no, she's a good mom. Like they're against me going on the internet and just venting about me, telling people my story. I say it's a testimony because I went through so much because of her. I had to change so much about myself and heal so much because of her. Like, I became a mom. I always had contact with her until I realized I had my son, and it was the first like event that we had, like crash out, I guess you could say, where my son was there, and that made me realize like, no, I have to back away from this woman. I ended up giving a reaction to her actions. And I finally realized, like, no, I need to change this about myself, because I don't want to be acting like her or giving even people the same energy, because all they want is a reaction to turn around and flip it on you and you be the bad person. So ever since that, I realized, like, I started healing, going to therapy, even seeing a psychologist, seeing a psychiatrist, because I literally felt like, dude, I was so damaged and letting my trauma define me. I want to break the cycle. I don't want to pass down those same things to my son or getting mad at him or anything. I don't want to treat him how my mom treated me, you know. I choose to not talk to her because of all the damage I went through. She was so humiliating, very belittling, and it's crazy to think that she doesn't take accountability and like likes to say like, that's not true, I didn't do that, like, you know, she's just talking about my life. Like, dude, I'm talking about what I went through with you. You act like I'm making these things up when I'm not. It's literally the truth. And she's now humiliated at the truth, just trying to tell all these people that know now about what I did as a teenager that made her be the way she is. And it's just like crazy to me, like how someone like that as a parent can be that way towards your own children. Because I have my son, and I realize like love is not conditional. Like, it is not. I mean, I don't know how he's going to be as a kid or teenager, but honestly, anything how he becomes is my fault. He's a product of his environment and how I raised him, so it's my fault if I fail. if I fail him, you know? Because I've been in no contact for a year now, and I've never been so at peace in life because I've been able to heal and just do the things I need to do so I can be the woman I want to be and the mother I need that she never was able to be. She chose not to parent me. She still puts the blame on me that I was like a bad kid and all this, you know what? It's like I rebelled because the shit you put me through and the shit I had to see when I was a child. Like I had to see her date different guys, leave us with random people for her to go out. Then when I got to the age where I could watch my siblings and care for myself, which I was barely like 11, 12 years old, she would leave us alone. I was old enough to do what I could. She still to this day says she was 14 and drinking and smoking, wanting to do things as an adult, and I couldn't handle that. If she wanted to do things as an adult, then she could take care of her own self. Girl, what? Like, you just chose not to help me and guide me to be a better kid. You were just bashing me, which made me act out more. And I take full accountability for the decisions I made, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like, it wasn't my fault, but it is my job to heal, if that makes sense, as an adult, especially as a parent. Like, it's my job to heal. I'm not going to still blame her, but for her to sit here and still blame me and not take accountability and paint herself as this perfect parent, it's like, you're not, dude. You are not. And still to this day, she remarried and she puts him before her own children. And it's like, I feel like you need to give your children their place if you're going to remarry and redate, especially if they're not the kids' dad, you know? She never did. He was letting this man get in her ear about, like, putting rules on us, telling us what to do, but yet he wouldn't even, like, help us, guide us, do anything for us. But all he did was make judgments about us, and she would roll with them and be on his side. And I think that's such a bullshit. It's just crazy how much a narcissist can literally, like, manipulate people and even manipulate yourself into thinking like you were wrong. And it's just no, and they'll never take accountability for their actions, especially as a parent. Like, that's so sad. At the end of the day, they're gonna lose everyone around them and their own children because they think they have it all with their partner. Just glad to say, like, I can take accountability. I've apologized to at least my younger siblings for being mean to them in the past because I was letting my trauma define me, and I hated myself. I hate myself. I don't hate myself now, but I hate to think the person I was in the past. I was like her. And I hate to say it that it literally makes me freaking like cringe so bad how I was becoming like her. And I'm just so blessed and glad enough to say that I've done the work to change myself. I mean, I still have a lot to do. I feel like I still get triggered sometimes, and like if my anger gets to me, I'm so glad to think like I have moved past that, especially now that I become a mom. It means so much more to me, and to know that I have done the work to be different and be nothing like her, because I don't want to ever be like that. She would rather please strangers and paint herself as a perfect mother, and instead of actually being a good mother to her own children, she'd rather like have this image of her. She'd rather protect her image and make these other people, please these other people, and make them think like, no, they're wrong, I'm right. You know, I was a good mom. I did this. They're lying. They just think I'm the worst. They're unappreciative because I took care of them. Like, girl, you did the bare minimum. You did the bare fucking minimum. If anything, when I lived with her, bro, she would press me to pay rent. I would go grocery shopping because she wouldn't even do those things. Sometimes we would have nothing in the fridge that me and my sister would be like, okay, let's go get groceries, because we literally don't have shit. She still sits here, and it's just annoying to hear, like, her like literally make up these lies. Like, she's like one of those people that she lies and lies, you guys, and believes them. What's that word that people like? I think she really has like narcissist disorder. What is that? Narcissist personality disorder. To be 43 and still be the way you are is just diabolical to me. It's just crazy to think. Maybe because she's Hispanic and like, you know, they're so prideful, but her dad, my own grandpa, like, he's taking accountability for his things, and it's just like crazy to think like, why are you even like that? Like, there's people older than you and they're more in this modernized generation and parent differently. I don't know, it just blows my mind, you guys, and I have to like let this off my chest because it's just so crazy. And I love this new generation of parents, especially us, well, some of us, because it's like we know so much more about emotional intelligence and how crucial it is for a childhood, how crucial it is to raise a child, because it really defines them as an adult. It makes them who they are, especially how we raise these boys. It literally shapes them into being the man they're gonna be And then you have to love your daughters so that they don't settle for less, that they don't accept the bare minimum. So it's just crazy. Like, it's just so important to me, and how I like to spread and talk about how much trauma can really affect one and their life. And I'm just glad to say that I'm finally okay and I'm finally at peace. But it's just irritating when I just hear like things she says, and it's like, you're such a liar. You're lying. Like, but I need to stop giving into like the frustration, because it is just frustrating to me. But I need to just move on and just, who cares? But it's frustrating when I have little siblings that still live with her, and you know, I just know they're gonna go through the same. But I pray for God, and I pray for her. Honestly, she needs God, and I need God still, and I need help, because I'm still need to heal. I'm healing, but I still need to work on myself. And as long as I'm away from her, then I'm gonna be fine.
Part 19 of why I will never speak to my narcissistic mother again. I want to say that throughout the entire time that my mother and my little sisters lived in Baltimore, me and my older sisters did not know that my little sisters were being abused. That is how manipulative she is. We truly thought that she had changed. Like, you know, we definitely thought, you know, that there were some shortcomings. We did not know that she moved out there for a man. We actually thought that my stepdad did something to her. Crazy, right? We did not know that she was bouncing around from house to house. We did not know that she was buying stuff for our family members instead of our little sisters. We did not know, like, the only thing that we had started to suspect, and this was towards the end, was the money thing. We're like, okay, she keeps asking for money, but our little sisters they don't have the things. So we just started buying that for them, because we're like, okay, clearly she is not good at managing her money. That is what we thought was happening. We thought that she was just not doing well with managing the money. So we just started sending stuff to her without actually like breaking it down to her, like, okay, you're not managing your money right, so we're going to send them things. So all of the things that I'm telling you about the time that she was in Baltimore, we did not find out until after. My little sisters could not text us anything because she had their phones all the time. And sometimes she would literally text us and be like, "Mommy's so annoying. Ugh." From my little sister's phone. We knew that it was her. We're like, okay, she's tripping right now. She's trying to get us to say like something about mommy, but anyway, ignoring it. She would also always say that she was working, and we later found out that she would work like 3 days a week for like 3 hours. Which to me doesn't make sense, because if you're now a single mom, why are you not working your ass off to provide for your kids? Especially because your kids are growing. Almost all of them are teenagers now, so they need things. They would go to their dad's house every summer. So this one particular summer, she dropped them off to me, and I lived in Kansas, so that they can come to my house, and then my other sister's house, and then my other sister's house, and then go to their dad's house for the summer. So they finally get to my house, and we're having a grand old time, and then they tell me everything. They told me all the things that she was doing, all of the abuse that she was inflicting on them, how they were always starving, and they looked like they were starving, honestly. So of course I tell my other sisters, and we're trying to figure things out, but they're not ready to leave her. And we're like, are you guys seriously going to go back to this? And they're like, yeah, because we have our cousins, we have this and that, and we like living over there. I wish that I would have just forced them to leave. So after the summer, they went back to Baltimore, and they said that they talked to her about it. She promised to change, and that things were starting to get good. I know this cycle all too well. Things did not stay good. She started beating them again. She stopped feeding them. All of the things just happened again. So another year passes. It's summertime again. They tell us they're ready. So of course, me and my older sisters are like, okay, let's get this started. So we created a plan. They go to their dad's house every summer, so we're gonna make it seem like they're just going to their dad's house. My mom drives them down to my sister in Dallas, which is like a 30-hour drive. I'm not sure. I might be over exaggerating, but Baltimore to Dallas, I think it's 30 hours. And me and my husband and my daughter at the time, she was only about 5 months old, drove down to Dallas as well, so we could have like family time. We drive down there. My mom's acting like a complete fucking weirdo. She keeps staying in the room instead of hanging out with us. I bought my little, apparently she had told my little sisters on the way, make sure you guys are all over me and acting like you love me, so they know that you guys love me, like threatening them to make sure they act like they love her. I bought them some little flip-flops from the Dollar Tree. They were Dollar Tree flip-flops, and she was like so offended by that. She's like, make sure you guys don't wear those fucking flip-flops. She put them up in the closet. She only wanted them to wear the clothes that she bought them so that they weren't acting ungrateful. I don't fucking know. My little sister told me that she was on the room trying to unlock my phone and go through my phone. I'm 22. I'm 22 at the time. What are you looking for in my phone? I'm holding my daughter. Again, she's 5 months, patting her butt. She's asleep. We're sitting on the couch. My mom comes in and starts like tapping her on the head. I said, oh no, don't, please. She's asleep, please. She goes like this to my head. But if I did anything, it would have messed up the plan. So I took a deep breath and said nothing. We go to my sister's apartment pool. My mom was out there for a minute, and then she went in and took a shower. Then my little sister left to go, I think she just had to use the bathroom. She goes in there, and apparently my mom pulled her by the ear as she's in the shower, and she's like, what are they saying about me out there? And my sister's like, nothing. And she's like, you better tell me right now, what are they saying? First of all, we were not talking about her. I literally just had to save my husband and my sister's brother-in-law from drowning in the damn pool. We're not worried about you. We're not talking about you. So after that awkward ass family time, my husband and I go back to Wichita, and then my little sisters, my mom drives them from my oldest sister's house to my second oldest sister's house in El Paso. Basically, she gets there and she's talking shit, especially about my oldest sister, which I don't know why she didn't do nothing. She was saying that we were isolating her when she was literally in the room. She could have been on the couch with all of the rest of us. My uncle was there, her brother. He's chilling on the couch. We're all laughing and having a good time. She's in the room. That doesn't make sense. So anyway, she's over there talking shit about us to my sister. One second. You guys, oh my God, this just reminded me of something. In 2017, I went to visit my sister, and my mom was there too. This was after how do I say this without getting flagged? After an attempt at permanent sleep for me, they let me go on leave, so I went to my sister's house. And we're having a good time, and then I had on like a flowy dress, and at this time I probably had an A cup, probably not even yet an A cup. So I had on a flowy dress and I didn't have on a bra. My mom's like, you're not gonna put on a bra? No. She's like, Jada, go put on a bra. Why would you not wear a bra? How would you feel if somebody on the street didn't have a bra in front of your man? First of all, she didn't have no man there at this time. It was just her. My sisters didn't give a damn, because their men had been in my life since I was about 12 years old. Again, I have an A cup. Nobody is looking at me or wondering if I have a bra on. She started crying because I didn't put a bra on. Okay, follow me for the next part, please.
Hey y'all, just a quick message. If you got a narc mom, I truly feel for you. Like, I really do. And it's never easy having a mom like that, because it's way beyond just a toxic mom. These are the moms that everything is calculated, everything is gaslighted, everything is manipulated, and they will go to extreme lengths to control you because they're jealous of you. It could be because you're a better mom. It could be because you're more successful. It could be because you're more attractive. It could be because you're nicer, softer, and whatever it is like that they choose to be jealous about, they will. I think the most craziest thing that a narc parent can do to their daughter, hands down, is to try to take their daughter to court, because they do this. They take their daughter to court to try to prove them to be unfit so they can take their kids. Whole time they provided no support. Whole time they watched their daughter struggle and fall flat on their face, and then watch their daughter go crazy, and then take them to court and take their kids. That is the most insane thing that I've ever heard in my life. And I wouldn't put it past any narc mom, because the agenda with a lot of them is the same. It's to control you. So the quickest way that they can control you is through your kids. If they can't get to you anymore, they're going to get to you through your kids, for sure. So if you don't have a narc mom, I know we throw that term around loosely, but look, those who get it, get it. You will never forget what a narcissist is if your mother is one. So if you don't have a narc mom, just be glad, be grateful, because a lot of people out here only got that one narc mom. You only get one mom, and their mom is a narc. So
I have said it once, and I'll say it again and again and again and again. Narcissistic parents are dangerous because they will literally go to the ends of the earth to protect their identity, what other people see them as. They will paint you as crazy, because what I've discovered is if you paint someone as crazy to the outside world, when they act out, people will just assume that it's because they're crazy, because such and such has already prepped us. So if your mom, because this is about narc moms, if your mom has already told people around you, like, okay, she's unhinged and she's this and she's that, or he's this and he's that, then people are already going to have a skewed view of you. So even when you have reactions, because a lot of times people with narc parents, they react because they don't have emotional intelligence sometimes, because you weren't allowed to practice it because your parent was a jerk. So then when you react, it makes it seem like the narc parent is correct, because it's like, see, look, there she goes acting out again. See, look, I told you she was unhinged. I told you she was unstable. Meanwhile, they're like torturing you behind closed doors and hurting you. And your reaction is a form of self-defense because you don't know what else to do. You don't know how else to be heard. But the downside is you end up looking unstable, and it proves the point of the narc. So that is why in every situation, we should just try to heal from it and learn from it and grow, because you don't want the narc to have that much control over you. You're not a child anymore. You can take a stand, period.
Have y'all ever dealt with the parent that tells the family everything you did wrong or that you did in general, but never tell what they did? I went the longest time not knowing why my mother's side of the family never really rocked with me like that. But I also didn't care. So I never cared to clear anything up, right? But the older I got more curious. So I did a little digging. One day I had a conversation with my great uncle, and I was just kind of explaining, my trials and tribulations with my mother, past and present. And how I've always just been made out to be this evil monster, but I never cared enough to let anybody know what was happening to me behind closed doors. So I gave him an example. So I'm gonna give it to y'all too. When I was 21, I was living with my mother. I had a 1-year-old. Like any other time, I may have done or said something that just triggered her because she was already miserable. And the result of it was her grabbing me by my hair and dragging me off the bed in front of my 1-year-old and beating me in the hallway of our home, beat me down the hallway till we got to the front room. And this is a trauma response with me laughing because nothing about it was funny, but it was very sad. My stepfather was there as well, and he didn't do anything to really help, but it is what it is.
she made me really angry when she did that. And I was so tired of her finding reasons to put her hands on me. So I said to her, I wish that she got cancer and died. That's not right. It's very wrong. I had to repent. I had to apologize to God. I had to apologize to my mother 1,000 times. She still finds ways to bring it up. But the moral of the story is, my family never knew that she did that to me. The only thing they knew was that I said that I wish that she got cancer and died. So all this time, you got everybody thinking that I'm just this crazed out monster. But you're not telling them that you're beating me in front of my kid. My family was very shocked to hear that side. And still to this day, she'll still bring it up as if her part was never played and that I deserved for her to do me like that. So this is for anybody who deals with a narcissistic parent, a parent who is envious and jealous, a parent who lies, a parent who deceives. You are not crazy. You are not wrong. Get away from them.
Growing up with a narcissistic mother, she always downplayed all my accomplishments and made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Y'all, I remember when I literally got my first car after, leaving the house. I pulled up because I was like, before I had left the house, we had gotten into an argument or whatever. And I told her, I said, when I come back, I'm going to have everything. I'm going to have my apartment and my car, and I'm going to show you that I can do it. So y'all, literally, I remember I pulled up on her and my sisters in my Chevy Cruze. I had that Chevy Cruze, that girl. I had a Chevy Cruze, baby, and Chevy Cruzes are bad. Do not get them. So I had pulled up. The first thing she gonna say is, "Who bought you this?"
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Where you get this from? I said, "What you mean? This is my car. I work for it." Then she was just like, "Oh, why her?" Da, 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 da. And it was just like, I started laughing. And I looked at my sisters. And I looked at my mama. I said, "Dang, you ain't say I'm proud of you or nothing." She was like, "Yes, I did." I looked at my sister and them. I said, Did she say that, y'all?" They was like, "No." She was like, "Yes, I did." I was like, "No, you didn't. You just went through all the negatives." But thank you, though. I just wanted to pull up and show you that I got it. I got everything that I desired. I got what I said I was going to get. I remember even me being pregnant, y'all. She was not proud of me. Like, when I told her I was pregnant, literally, the next day she made an argument about it. The first day she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna have my grandbaby." But the next day she literally called me, making an argument with me, and then goes call my sister and tell me I cussed her out. And they called me, I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" Like, I never said nothing to her. Around telling everybody I'm gonna keep a baby from her.
You're showing me how unserious you are.
Cannot enjoy my pregnancy. I'm gonna have to stop talking to you. And then, bro, I remember when I did my business shoot when I was pregnant, and I had to move in with her. I'm finna show y'all. And the pictures was tea. Everything was tea. So I showed her, what I went to go do or whatever. And when I came back all dressed up and stuff. And at first she acted, she was like, "Oh, that's nice, that's cute." But she was like, "Why y'all be getting y'all makeup done like that? I don't never get my makeup done like that." And I was just looking at her like, what? It's like my mother has always been my hater, my op. I always told myself I can't worry about an outsider because I'm sitting up. The hater birthed me. Because every time I turn around, nothing that I do is good for her. Everything that I do, she literally hates on. She tries to act like she's proud of me, but her actions start to show. And then she'll say little bitty stuff that'll tick you off that you be like, "Bruh, you talk to your child like this? Like, that's crazy." And it make you, like, even me becoming a mother, I realized, like, bruh, I told her plenty of times, I never talk to my child like that. You told me one day I would see once I become a mother, and I definitely see that I'm not passing this down. That's something that I will not do to my kids. I will not break them down when they're accomplishing all their goals. Like, I will not sit over here and damage their dreams and make sure that they don't reach a certain potential in life, all because I didn't make the right decisions in life.
Nothing from y'all. I never disrespect you in no kind of shape and form. I don't hide nothing. I put my stuff up because you literally take up all the space, Everything, every time I put a little corner, my stuff be moved over more. Every time I try to put something up,
You gotta put food in the fridge.
I don't.
It was never separated. Who does that? Nobody separated food ever. You started that.
I kept my food in
a corner
because I had to eat certain things because I was sick. That's the reason I told you that I had to go on a special diet. That I wasn't even eating really food and stuff like that. I even stopped cooking because of the stuff that I was eating. I put stuff in here now because that's where I got to put it. This is where I could store stuff. That was given to me the other day. That's why it's underneath there. Because I'm not going to stock this all up with cans and no room. There's literally no room for me to put anything. I have a little refrigerator because I like my water. And they give me food. My nurses in the station and them, they bring me the food to eat. So
it's not about. It's not even about now. You started the whole pushing your stuff to the side, getting mad if we eat your stuff. Just weird behavior that's not normal. This is not a normal household. I want you to know this. Let me talk now. This is not a normal household. This is not normal parenting. This is not how mothers treat their kids. You know how I know? Because I would never do my kids like this. All my life, I would never do my kids the way you do me. And that's the God honest truth. If you feel okay with the way you treat me and your grandkids, that's on you and God. Period. But I'm here to tell you right now, it's not normal. It's not good. And I'm happy we're leaving.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way because that's
you don't have to be sorry.
Having a narcissistic mom is literally not for the weak. She literally told me that her hate for me is because I hated her. I have hated her since I was born. Like, I wouldn't let her feed me, change me, hold me, nothing. And so she said that is why she hates me. Because I hated her first. Like, what the fuck? What? She just refers to me as a stupid bitch all the time, and like she thinks that I'm supposed to respect her when she talks about me like that. And then another thing is she wants to be around my kids, but the way she talks about me is how she talks about me in front of my kids, and she will never be allowed around my kids. My kids were coming home and saying all of these things about me, and I'm like, where did you hear that? Oh, grandma said this, grandma said that. Like, my kids were legit disrespecting me. My son was saying crazy things to me because my mom was literally calling me a dumb bitch, a hoe, all of this shit in front of my son, in front of my kids. And then she doesn't do this in front of people, only behind closed doors. She likes to cry. Oh, my daughter did this, or she said this, or she said that, and try to get everybody to play the sympathy card and feel bad for her. I don't give a fuck how anybody feels about me anymore. That used to bother me. I don't need to clear up shit. Maybe she should be a good person, a good mom, a good grandma, but she will never change, and she will never be a part of my life. So, please, if you are friends with that weird-ass lady, tell her to get me and my kids out of her head because she will never be in our lives, ever. That bridge is already crossed. She made her bed. She can lay in it. People are going to learn that if you're disrespecting me and fucking with me, you will never be a part of my kids' lives. Those are my kids. Those are my kids. Like, you, people are stupid. You can't be a fucking grandma if you're not even my mom. Like, I disowned you. I cut you off. Cut. So you are not a grandma. You can claim my brother's kids. Don't claim mine. You only have 4 grandkids. My kids, when I find my village, they will find their grandma. But you are not it. So please, somebody get that through her weird ass head. Please. Thank you.
My Thanksgiving ended with me kicking my narcissistic mother out of my house and telling her I no longer wanted to have a relationship with her. So real quick to explain what happened, I hosted Thanksgiving dinner. It was me, my mom, my aunt, and her family, her husband, and my 2 cousins. They come over, they stay roughly till about like 10, close to 10 o'clock, and then they leave. Except as they're leaving, as we're like, hey, take these leftovers, and mom's like, hey, don't forget this, don't forget that. I had also washed 2 of Archie's hoodies, my dog, and I don't like to put them in the dryer, so I was hanging them on a space heater radiator that's like kind of near the doorway, the front door, and I was hanging it there to dry. And as my aunt was walking past them, my mom pointed at it and she's like, oh, do you guys want those for your dog? And my aunt looked at me and she's like, aren't those Archie's? And I was like, yeah. So as I was continuing to clean up after they left, I just said to my mom, I was like, hey mom, what was that? Why did you offer them Archie's? And without hesitation, without even a second to think, she immediately says, I didn't say that. And I know at a surface level, it sounds like this was all over hoodies, an accident. And I can see that, but it's about the fact that without even hesitation, my mom's response was to manipulate and gaslight me. Because then after I had to explain to her, then that doesn't fit the narrative of how my aunt would ask me, isn't that Archie's if you didn't say that? Like, it only fits if you offered them the hoodie. Like, it only fits in that scenario. And after having to explain that to her twice, she was like, oh, well, maybe I was just confused. And I was like, that's fine. But why didn't you just say that from the beginning? Why was your initial reaction to just lie to your only child? To which her response was, I didn't lie to that. So for the next 40 minutes to an hour, it was me on repeat. I said it over 40 times because I counted. I was like, this is now the 3rd, 4th, 20th, 30th, 40th time that I'm telling you that I need you to address the fact and acknowledge that you lied, and just tell me that you're going to work harder to not lie to your child about something so unimportant. And I was met with responses that either were her just being silent, not addressing it for upwards of 8 to 10 minutes at a time, where I'm waiting for her to answer, and I'm pretty sure, because she does this all the time, that she thinks that if she just ignores it and stays silent, I'm just gonna give in and pretend it didn't happen, it's just gonna disappear. Or her trying to convince me that I'm the most important person in her life and that everything that she has ever done was for me. To which point I always have to remind my mom that no, a mother who puts her child first doesn't not cook a single meal for 3 months or say one single word to their only child for 3 months at the age of 10 or 11 years old because they forged their signature on one of the tests because they didn't want to be beat all day for not getting an A+, or a mother who lies to their child about their father and how she lost all the wedding photos on the move from Korea to America when they've never been married. It wasn't because it was easier for me. I would know. It was obviously because it was easier for her. And honestly, I don't even know if I meant it, if it was just an empty threat or just a trauma response, but I told her she had to leave. My aunt came at like 1 o'clock in the morning, picked her up, and all day yesterday, I just laid on my couch crippled for 8 hours just staring at my ceiling, unable to do anything. And that's the thing. All 3 of my previous therapists, none of whom were Asian, by the way, which I do think is important, all recommended to me that I needed to cut off my mom in order to find peace. But the thing is, I'm also an only son of a single mother, and I don't know, especially as someone who has lost a lot of people in their lives and have a hard time processing death, I don't know if I would be able to live with myself if I cut off my mom, who's now 81 years old. Like, there's not that much time to see her. And if I just cut her off, I would feel like I would have this regret for the rest of my life that, like, I should have tried harder. And, like, I know what therapy says. I know it's not my burden to carry. But I also know myself. It will become a burden. It will be something I carry for the rest of my life. And I just, like, don't want that as a regret, you know? And it just really sucks because I feel like I'm at this cross point where I either have to stop fighting for that little child in me who just desperately his whole life wanted his mom to just be that protective person that they can go to. And maybe then also realize that on the flip side, I'm now 42 years old. I'm an adult. And it just seems like such a silly thing to get upset about and have to accept that my mom is just this way. And I'm just so tired of having to raise myself, of having to have been an adult my whole life. And I have to choose between protecting the younger version of me and protecting the older version of me that doesn't want to carry around the guilt. And since that night, I've been waiting for my mom to reach out to me, holding on to the hope, like to help heal that inner child, knowing that the longer it goes without me reaching out to her first, it's just going to be a bigger disappointment to myself. If people wonder why I have high ability for empathy, it's not because of anything other than the fact that I've had to learn since the age of 2, when my mom broke a solid wooden broom handle, brand new one, on the first swing, spanking my butt, where it broke to the point that I couldn't sit down or lay on my back for 2 weeks. And I had to learn to see from my mom's perspective and go apologize to her. So I'm making this video for all the people out there who may be sharing this trauma. I just want you to know you're not alone. And after I posted this story last night in an effort to try to unparalyze myself from the trauma and the fact that I think I'm just grieving the loss of hoping that I could heal my inner child. And to the over 1,000 of you who saw that story and reached out to me, offering your words of support and letting me know that you've also experienced something very similar, I just want to let you know that knowing that I wasn't alone really helped me yesterday. And I just want to let every single one of you know that I'm reading through all of your comments and I do not have the emotional energy to respond to every one of you, but that I've seen them and that I'm so grateful for your support. And whichever way I decide to go or this ends up going, if you do end up seeing my mom in future videos, please respect that I'm just trying to heal from this trauma. But I just wanted to thank every one of you, and I just want you to know that you're not alone.
Again, in closing, if you had a narc mom and no one's ever told you this, it is okay to have anger towards her. That is righteous rage and it makes total sense. But from this point forward, you can decide if you are going to let her ruin your life or if you are going to take your life back, take back control. She may have victimized you as a child, but you are not a child, hopefully, anymore. Okay, you can heal, you can grow, and you can be better. Okay, sometimes that involves cutting people off. I had to cut off my narc parent. Let's just be real. I haven't spoken. It was a different, whatever. We'll get to that. It's my dad. Okay, sorry. I'm just being honest. I think he's a narcissist, and I had to cut him off. I haven't spoken to my biological father since 2023. Okay, we're now going into 2026. And I said this in a previous video. When my dad and I were actually on good terms, he told me that now that I'm older, if he never sees me again, if he never spoke to me again, he wouldn't care. And it wouldn't matter to him if he never saw me again, because now I'm grown. This was when I was like 21 or 22. Because I remember I was living in Atlanta at this time. I still remember I was sitting, we were talking, I'm trying to figure out, like, I thought we were good. Like, why are you even saying this? And I remember I said, that doesn't make me feel any better. Like, what are you saying right now? And he's like, yeah, but the only reason why I'm your dad is because of God. God made me be your dad. And if God didn't, I would not have been. And I'm just like thinking, why the F are you telling me this? And we're supposed to be on good terms right now. He used to put me in his drama with his women. One time, one of his girlfriends called me at like 2 a.m. saying he stole her car. He did not steal her car, by the way, accusing him of stealing her credit card because she was drunk. Called me at 2 a.m. I had to cuss her out. So I stopped talking to her. His other side piece basically tried to kidnap me. Maybe I'll give a story time on that because I was terrified. I thought she was going to like unalive me or something in the car. Then his side piece kept calling me. I had to cuss her out. At least she apologized though. His other woman who called me at 2 a.m, she didn't apologize, but the one side piece she did. And I had to cuss her out. Like, look, don't put me in this. Okay. Two things for sure. I don't do drama. And I remember I told my dad, and I'm like, look, the only time I have drama in my life is when you're in it. I don't normally have drama. And he got offended by that, but it's true because I had never had somebody's women calling me. My men, if they have a side piece, I wouldn't know about it because their side pieces don't even call me. But somehow my dad's side pieces are calling me. Like, please, give me a break. I had to cut him off. I still love him. I hope the best for him. I hope he's doing well, but he can do well in somebody else's life. I don't need that in my experience. So again, we can have righteous rage towards our narc parents. And I'm sure as time goes on, I'll probably reveal more and more stuff that I experienced at the hands of my narc parent personally. I can laugh about it now, but it's kind of like not funny. But they say laughter. I feel like laughter is the closest way to heal from pain. They say the funniest people are often masking a lot. Now, the good thing is, even though my dad was like those things, he never like SA'd or like put the pause on us or anything like that. So I am thankful for that. And like, we've had a lot of really great conversations. However, like, it was always like coded in something. Like, we couldn't just be okay. It would be like, we would be good for a stint, and then it would blow up, and then we wouldn't talk again. We've never been able to just have a cohesive, good relationship as far as I've ever known. We've just never been in a good space for more than like maybe a month and some change. And all of it came to a head when I actually went to move and live down there. It was like, I was like, this is my final attempt, because he has a business. My dad got money. Okay. So I went to go basically prepare to like be next in line to run the business. And it blew the F up. And after that, I haven't spoken to him since. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, thanks for stopping by. I see you, people with narc moms. I resonate with you. Again, I'm sorry you had that experience, but no, you are not alone. And together we can heal and make a better world. So thank you for staying till the end. I'm sending you positive energy, healing, love, blessings, all the things. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.